Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Crochet. My name is Jeremy, and it is pumpkin spice season. So what better way to celebrate pumpkin spice than to make your own pumpkins? Crochet your own pumpkins. I'm going to teach you that today in this video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, it means everything, and let's get to crochet. Okay guys, like I said in the opening, that if you can single crochet, you can make this pumpkin. So the yarn that I'm using today is it's by Big Twist. It's called Hush, and the color I'm using is, I believe it's called Birch, yes. And it is, let's see here, it is a number 5 bulky yarn. So Big Twist Hush, and this is what it looks like right here. So, and it's so super soft. It's an amazing yarn. I love it. I'm making a blanket out of it right now. And then for the stem of the pumpkin, I'm going to be using Big Twist Value yarn. It is a number 4, and this one is called Camel. So I'm going to be using this as the stem of the yarn. So let's get started. The things that you're going to need for today is, I am using an eye hook, and also you're going to need a pair of scissors, and you're going to also need a yarn needle. So we're going to put these aside right here. Now, what you saw me pull this out of, I keep some of my stuff in here, like my measuring tape and stuff like that, my scissors and my yarn needles. It's just an eyeglass case that I got from Walgreens a while back, and you just stick it in here and it's awesome. It holds, like, you know, just some little things I use all the time. So let's get started here. Now what you're going to want to do is, you're going to want to start with a chain. So let's go ahead and do a slip knot, which, to make a slip knot, you just want to wrap around your finger twice, just like that. You wanted this first one to come over the second one, just like that, and then the second one to come over the first one and up off the finger, and that makes a slip knot. And so you just get that right in there and pull on it, and it should tighten up a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to chain, this is going to be a small pumpkin, so I'm only going to chain 12. So let's get your yarn started here. We're going to chain 12. So that's 1, 2. So we have 12 chains here, and as you can see, they all do this V shape all the way down, and that's what we want right there. So to start out your pumpkin, what you're going to want to do is, you're going to want to turn this over to the back side, and the back side, if you can see it, it has these bumps all the way down it, and these bumps are what we're going to crochet into. I call it a dragon's back. It's been called all kinds of things, but that's what I like to call it. I call it a dragon's back, and you can see those bumps there. So what you want to do is, you want to single crochet into all the bumps. So starting with this first bump right here, this very first bump, you're going to get your crochet hook in there. You're going to go through. Now you'll have 2 loops on your hook. You want to yarn over, pull it through the first loop, then we're going to yarn over and pull it through the 2 loops right there. So then we're going to go to the next hump, and we're going to go through that loop there, that bump, and we're going to yarn over. We're going to pull it through that first one, and you'll have two, and then you're going to yarn over and pull it through the next two. And we're going to do this all the way down. So let's find the next bump, which is right here. We're going to go through that bump, and we're going to yarn over. We're going to pull that through that loop. We're going to have two loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull it through the next two. So let's go ahead and go all the way down all these. And this is going to be the last bump. This last bump, as you can see, if you turn it this way, is this one right here. Is this one. Right there. So we're going to go through that last bump. Pull it through, and then pull it through those two. And this is what you're going to end up with. You're going to end up with this nice little band here. And this is going to be the top of your project, all right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over, pull through once. We're going to do a little chain there. We're going to turn our work to the other side like this. Now, you know how doing single crochets, normally you have this V here, you have the V's all the way down. Normally you would go through both of these to do a regular single crochet. Well, today we're going to learn something new, and we're only going to go through this back loop here. We're not going to go through both of these loops like this. We're going to go through this back loop right here. So go through this back loop, and you're just going to single crochet. Yarn over, pull one through, you have two on your hook, you're going to pull through those two. So let's go to the next one. So the V, you want to go through this back post here. You're going to go ahead and go through this back loop, yarn over, pull it through, and you're going to yarn over and pull it through those two. Now we're just going to continue to go down, and we're going to go through the next one, which is right here. And we're going to pull this through these two loops. We're going to go to the next one. Now on this last one gets pretty tricky because it's like you have the two right here, one right here, and one right here. If you look kind of close at it, you have the two, the front and the back right here. So you want to go through this back one right there. So let's go ahead and go through this back one. We're going to yarn over, pull it through this last one, yarn over, pull it through those two loops. And you're gonna have like this ribbed effect on the back here, like on the back and on the front. And that's what you want to make your pumpkin. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna crochet. We're going to chain one. We're gonna turn our work, and we're gonna do the same thing all over again. We're gonna see the top of it right here, and we have all these V's going across here. So what we want to do is we want to find this first one, which is right here, and we're going to go through the middle and go through right through the back loop right there. We're going to yarn over, we're going to pull it through. You'll have two loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, you're going to pull it through those two. Now, how many times you want to do this is the back loop. Now, how many times you want to do this? You want to do it 3 times the width of your project. So you want to do it 3 times the length right here. If you got your tape measure out and you measured this, now this is 4.5 inches. So 4.5 inches times 3 is going to be 13.5 inches. So you want to crochet till you get to 13.5 inches. Now it will make a pumpkin that's this size right here. So it's a nice, cute little small pumpkin here. And it'll probably make one just a little bit bigger than this, to be honest, because I think I only did 10 chains on this, but it's so cute. And a little top there. So if you keep going, we want to get to 13. So let's just keep going. Okay guys, now that we have our 13.5 inches all done, the way to figure out how much yarn you're gonna need left to join these two and to sew all the top and the bottom, which I'm gonna show you how to do, to turn this into this right here. The best way to do it is you wanna take your yarn and you wanna go all the way down like this to this end, then come back and go all the way down to this end. And then I like to go just like a little more than halfway. And that's how much yarn I personally like to clip off and to use to sew, because I just like to have a little extra whenever I do the top, the bottom, and go through the center. And I'm gonna show you all that, how to do that. So, so go ahead and cut your yarn. Pink. Cut that yarn. You're gonna want to go ahead and grab your little yarn needle here. Fun way to, an easy way to get that yarn through the eye of the needle is you just wrap it around like so. Pinch it tight, pull it off, and with it pinched tight, you just push that right through and pull it right through, just like that. And it makes it easy to do that. So, what I'm gonna do here is, I'm gonna put this through the eye of the yarn there. I'm gonna pull it through tight, and that will make a little knot there. Now what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to join these two ends together, like so, like a little sandwich. Join these two together, and what we're going to do is, we're gonna sew all along this edge here. And what you wanna do is, you just wanna start at the end right here, go through, and we're just gonna keep on going. And then you'll have this little bit right here. So now what you want to do is, you want to go ahead and turn it inside out. Boom, there you go. And you got all your ruffles ridges here. So now that you've done that, you can just leave this tail right here, because you're just gonna sew that in later. So now what you wanna do is, you wanna take your yarn and you want to just start sewing in and out all the way around. And what I mean by that is just go through like this and back through like this. And it's going to go in and out like this. In and out. And you're going to want to go all the way around. Once you go all the way around with it to the very beginning, you're going to just take that yarn and you're just going to pull on it like so. Pull on it tight and it'll just bunch up just like that. And you still have a lot of yarn left all through here. So now what we want to do is, whenever this is pulled really, really tight, and what I like to do is just go ahead and sew this bad boy closed. So just go from one side to the other, like so. Pull it nice and tight. And I'm going to go from here to the other side. And that just closes it right up. So what you're left with is this cute little bowl, just like that. And you know, push down on it a little bit, get it a little flat. And then what you're gonna want to get next is the polyfill, or the toy stuffing. And it's just this fluffy, kind of cloudy filling that you get at Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby. It's really inexpensive. It comes in a big bag and it's called polyfill. So we just want to stuff our pumpkin with that, like so. And then we're going to turn it over. We're going to take our needle here. We're going to put it through, and we're going to go through the entire center, just like that, and pull it, pull it all the way through, just like so. All right. So once you're at this stage right here, what you want to do is kind of pull it a little tight, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side, how we go in, out like that, and in like this. And we're going to do that all the way around this one. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to do the same thing, and we're going to pull it super tight. And it's going to look like that. So what we want to do is we want to take our yarn, pull it super tight, and then we want to go ahead and go to the other side, push it through, pull it tight. Come to this side right here, go to the other side, and pull it tight. And once that's closed up, we can play with the pumpkin a little bit. And that is the pumpkin. So what we want to do is, now that we've done that, if you want to, if you have some extra tail left over down here and you have some extra yarn right here, you can actually go straight down again, all the way through, so you get to the middle of the pumpkin there at the bottom, and you can pull that, pull it kind of tight, grab this tail, grab this, tie it in a nice big knot, and that pulls the center down right there. So you have like this nice little pumpkin effect. And I'll tie it twice in a knot. And then what I do is I just sew in my ends. So you can just weave this in and out a little bit here and there. Just go wherever you want to go with it. Just all the way at the side if you want. Nobody's gonna know. And then whenever you get to where you just like it, you can get your scissors and you can snip that off. And just push that in with the needle there. All gone. You will never see that again. And then for the other tail, this one right here, you just do the same thing, and you have a little pumpkin. Look how cute he is. So cute. Now, to do the stem, I'm going to teach you that right now too, so that way you can finish your pumpkin off. So, and you can play with it. You can like smush it and everything and get it to the shape that you like. They're so great. And then once we put the stem in, it's perfect. So let's go ahead and I'll teach you how to do the stem. Now for the stem today, I'm using this Big Twist Value yarn in the camel color. It's a size 4, so it's kind of thin, but that's okay. And let me go ahead and get this out. There we go. And now, for what you want to do with this is, you want to start with a slip knot, go once, twice around, go once over, take that second one, go over and off your finger, and up, and there you go. You got your slip knot here. Again, I'm using an eye hook. So what we're gonna do is, now that the slip knot's on there, it's not too tight, we're going to chain the length that you would want your stem. So if you wanted your stem 2 inches, you would chain enough for 4 inches. So let's go ahead and chain for 4 inches because we want the stem to be about this big. So we want it to be a small stem for that little pumpkin. So let's go ahead and chain to 4 inches. So if I was to fold this in half, that's how big the stem is gonna be, just like that. So I think that's a nice sized little stem for that. So let's go ahead, and once we have 10 on our chain there, what you want to do is, just like we started out the pumpkin, you want to turn your chains over to the back to where you see this dragon side over here, the dragon's back with the loops on it, just like that. And you want to find the very first bump there, and you want to go ahead and go right in to that very first bump. So that very first bump, you're going to put your hook through, and you'll have two bumps. You'll have two pieces of yarn on your, 2 loops of yarn on your hook. You want to go ahead and yarn over, pull it through both of those loops. And then you want to go to the next bump right here. So you're going to want to go through that bump, yarn over, pull it through that one, and then pull it through those 2. And this right here is the final bump right there. And you're going to put it through, yarn over, pull it through those 2. And what you're gonna be left with is this right here, where this is the top and that's the bottom. So the top is gonna be where your hook's at. So that's gonna be the top. Now what you wanna do is really simple. This is like it's so simple. What you wanna do is you wanna leave a tail, like a nice long tail, and you want to go ahead and cut that. Get your yarn needle again, which is right here. Do the trick that I showed you by putting the yarn over your hook, pinching it, pulling it right off to where it's like this in your hands, and you're going to push it through the eye of that needle, which this is just splitting, but it's okay. I'll get it through. There we go. So you want to put it through the eye of your needle. The next, you want to come back to your project here. And what you're going to do is you're going to just slide that hook right out, and you're going to put the yarn through that eye of the yarn, and you're going to pull that tight, and that'll make a knot. So then what I do is I take this tail and this one and I tie it in a knot. There we go. Tie it once. I tie it twice. And that makes a nice little knot. Now, what you want to do is you want to take what you have here with your work and this stem here, and you want to pinch it over like this. You want to just fold it over, and what you want to do is you want to sew right up there like this. So once you get that sewn up one side, you want to go to the other side, put it right through, and then we're going to sew down this side. So we're going to go right through. So that's going to be your stem. It is so cute. Look at that, you guys. It's so adorable. And so what you want to do is just pull that off of there. And we're going to attach the stem to the pumpkin. We want to get some yarn here, like probably like 1.5 foot of yarn. Just a nice, size piece of yarn here. And then we want to go ahead and thread it through the needle. Like so. Then we're going to find a little bit of the center here. There we go. And then we're going to put this through our bottom of our stem, and we're gonna pull it up like so. Leave a little bit of tail there. And then we're going to just keep sewing the stem into the bottom of the pumpkin, or the top of the pumpkin. Oops. There we go. Yep. A few tails going on there. So just keep sewing. And then take it, tie it off into a little knot. And clip off your ends here. Like so. And just tuck those away in there. Like so. And you are done with your pumpkin. It has a little stem on it and everything. So cute, you guys. I did this one, and the way that I did the stem is I kind of sewed it kind of a little off, so it made like this little curl in it. As you can see here, it made like a little curl, and I made some big ones too. And to alter your pattern for this, all you have to do is, alter your pattern is that if you want to do like a larger one, I would suggest doing like maybe 15 to 17 chains, and then start that way. Or if you want to, you can do like 25 to 30 chains and make a bigger pumpkin. But I hope this was good for you guys, and I will see you next time. So there you have it, folks. Crocheted pumpkin. Yes, I hope that you learned a lot on this episode, and that you get to make many, many pumpkins for many, many people. And it was so much fun to do this video for you guys. And like I said, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It means everything. And until next time, have fun crocheting.